My sister-in-law, the CEO, fired me in front of everyone. She didn't realize the contract her father signed made me untouchable. I'm Marcus. For 15 years, I poured everything I had into a family-owned company called Westmont Industries. I wasn't just another employee, I married into the family. My wife Julia's father, Robert, was the founder, and he was old school. He believed in loyalty, shaking hands, and treating workers like family. When I first joined, he told me, "Marcus, we don't just build products here. We build careers, families, and trust." And he meant it. The man knew every employee by name, asked about their kids, showed up at retirement parties. He was the kind of boss you wanted to work for. Julia worked in HR. She had her dad's warmth and cared about people. But her sister Miranda? A completely different story. She went off, got her MBA, came back with buzzwords like synergy and disruption, and decided her father's way was outdated. When Robert got sick with cancer, Miranda started circling like a vulture. She cut Christmas bonuses, canceled the company picnic, slashed training programs. Everything was about efficiency. People stopped smiling at work, turnover went up, but I held on. I believed my loyalty and results would still count for something. I was wrong. The execution. It happened on a Tuesday morning. I walked into the factory and instantly knew something was off. Conversations stopped when I passed by. Jenny at reception gave me this pitying look and asked if I'd seen the memo. I hadn't. On the bulletin board, mandatory all-hands meeting, 10 a.m. By 10, 60 employees were crammed into the hall. Miranda stood at the front in her power suit, hair in a severe bun, smirking like a cat about to play with a mouse. She started with corporate nonsense. Westmont is entering a new phase of growth, fresh blood, difficult decisions. Then she looked straight at me. "Marcus Hale, you've been with this company 15 years, but your resistance to change has become a hindrance. Today will be your last day." The room went silent. My wife Julia was in the front row. She looked pale but said nothing. Everyone stared at me, waiting for me to break. Instead, I stood up, nodded once, and said, "Understood. I'll clear out my desk." Then I walked out with whatever dignity I had left. What Miranda didn't know was that I had something she'd overlooked: the contract. That night, sitting at my kitchen table with a glass of untouched whiskey, I remembered something Robert once told me. When I find someone truly loyal, I make sure they're protected. Legal protection. I dug through my filing cabinet until I found my original contract from 15 years ago. Buried on page 7 was a clause I'd forgotten about. If I was terminated without cause, I was entitled to 24 months of full salary, not severance salary. Full health benefits for those 2 years. All my stock options vested immediately. All performance bonuses from the last 5 years paid in full. Continued retirement contributions during the severance period. And the kicker, this clause couldn't be modified without my signature, no matter who was in charge. I did the math. It added up to about $650,000, maybe more if the company's value increased. Robert had seen what kind of leader Miranda would become. He'd built me a parachute she couldn't cut. The lawyer. The next morning, I called Gerald, a labor lawyer I trusted. He laughed when he saw the contract. "Marcus, this thing is bulletproof. Robert built a bear trap, and your sister-in-law just stepped in it." Gerald sent Westmont a polite letter reminding them of the contract. Within 24 hours, their lawyer, Calloway, called me. He sounded like he was about to pass out. He asked if I was aware of those provisions when I signed. I told him, "I signed what Robert gave me. Seems pretty clear to me." The next day, Miranda herself called. Furious, she offered me 6 months' pay and a glowing recommendation. I laughed. "Your father promised me 2 years, stock, bonuses, the works. That's the deal. Honor it." She threatened to ruin my reputation in the industry. I told her I already had job offers. Bluff or not, it shut her up. The fallout. Within 2 weeks, Westmont caved. I walked out of Gerald's office with a settlement check for $687,450, and a formal apology letter signed by Miranda herself. No NDA, Gerald made sure of that. Meanwhile, the company started crumbling. My old coworkers called me with updates, projects falling behind, clients pulling contracts, experienced staff quitting for competitors. The Henderson account, one of our biggest, canceled outright. And then came the sweetest twist. Dave Henderson, the client Miranda had lost, called me personally. Marcus, I want you leading my next project. Not as an employee, as a partner. The new start. I joined a smaller competitor, Titan Dynamics, run by people who actually cared about quality and relationships. They